Hello, beautiful souls. I'm so glad that you could join with me today. We'll pull a few cards for the collective reading, see what Spirit has to say to us today, and then we'll go from there. Share some guidance and wisdom from the cards here. We are excited about what is to come. There's a lot of passion and force behind it. There's a lot getting ready to kick off. And your vision is not necessarily going to align with the vision of others. So, how do we go about this? Well, first and foremost, we recognize where our true intention lies. What is the ultimate goal here? What is it that you want to accomplish? And are you ready to pursue that independently if you have to? Digging really deep into what our purpose is. We have everything that we need in place. We have the energy and the charisma and the wisdom and the skills. We might not have the support of those that we hope that we would have the support of. We have it feels a little bit disapproving energy here. There's some individual that you would normally rely on to have your back, but finding that their attention seems to be focused on other things. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just the nature of things. Sometimes we have to separate ourselves and go about the things that we desire and that we feel strongly about with our own personal goals and purpose in the way that we see fit. So there is a very strong sense of independence here of I'm going to do it the way that it feels right to me, and I'm going to maybe even step away from some other souls that don't necessarily see my vision or understand it in the same way that I do. I want to be a part of a greater, but I also understand that there is a part of beginning this foundation that requires a type of precision and execution that I have prepared for, that I know what I want to have this. I know how I want to see this fulfilled. I know the way that this is going to go. And I know it'll be successful if I implement what it is that I know and I execute it in the way that I feel confident. I can't allow the opinions, distractions, or even the pushback from others to detour me from what it is that I see and what it is that I want. You're not always going to have a team cheering you on when you first begin. Sometimes we find that, and a lot of this refers to artists and creators. Sometimes the first people that are your loudest supporters are people you've never spoken to before. The people that you know and you've had in your corner the whole time, all of a sudden are very quiet. They're not cheering the loudest. Your hometown isn't selling out the crowd for you. But you go other places and you realize that what you have to offer is incredibly valuable and worthy and exciting to other people that haven't been around. And so sometimes you do have to take that show on the road. Sometimes you have to leave that space to recognize that you are valuable. You were just not in a space that valued you. So there's an energy here of kind of being independent and maybe taking our dreams and purpose, kind of bringing it in close, taking time to really develop, hone it, and just putting the work in. Just don't worry about what other people are thinking about it or saying about it. None of that matters. The cards are saying that you've got something really good here, and you know what you're doing. You've got everything you need to make it happen. You just don't have the cheering section. And for some reason, it's really hard for us to let go of the people that we love and who have always had our back and always supported us. Like we want them to be cheering for us too. They're not seeing it yet. And that doesn't mean that they won't. Doesn't mean that they're not just quietly sitting back there waiting to see what you do with this opportunity. It's just something that you're going to have to do the way that you see it, the way that you want it, the way that you feel it, and you're going to have to put your all into it. You're going to have to pull through. And you want to do this more than anything because you want to prove to them that you know what you're talking about, that you know what you're doing, that you have prepared for this. This isn't something that you just picked up and decided, oh, I'm going to do this now. And there's no thought or background to back it up. This is bigger than that. This is something that took a lot of thought and introspection. This was something that was realized in a moment of clarity as something not only absolutely possible and doable for you, but something that you feel very, very strongly called to do against all odds. So you're going to make it happen. You might have to do so in a different way than you anticipated, but it's absolutely worthwhile. And you're going to put your all into it, and it's going to be beautiful. So dig your heels in, do it the way you see it. We're gonna keep reading and going with this message. The cards are reading this energy. It for each deck, it seems like the scarab beetle, the magic works through you, and opportunity. We may not always see the way to accomplish our goals. We just feel them. Sometimes we just know that it's there and it hasn't quite presented itself to us yet. But you feel it. And it's your feeling. It's that intense passion and desire and purpose that grows within you, and you can see it. And as long as you see it and you believe in it, you have found a way to step by step make your way to a position where you can actually start to implement these skills and abilities and this vision and start to make this happen. You don't know how it happened. You don't know how you got here. You don't know why you took that side road. You did. And that side road taught you some skills. That side road brought you in contact with individuals that you wouldn't have met otherwise. This magic works through our intention. This universe sees and feels what it is we need and understands what it is that it will take because it already has that end goal in sight. It already sees what that looks like. Even though we might not, we have just kind of a vision of it. The universe knows what we need. Spirit knows what we need. And so Spirit says, side quest, and sends us over here to do what we need to do. And you're like, okay, I'm back on track. And then Spirit goes, side quest, and you go over here. And next thing you know, you're talking to new people. You have new contacts. You have new communication. Your idea has been honed in a little bit better. So Spirit's now starting to show you where these pathways are starting to open up for you and make more sense. You did the work. You believed in the vision. You handled the side quest. You didn't complain about it either. You're like, well, this is fun. Let's go. Let's have a good time. And you did so with such a good energy and a good spirit that the universe said, yeah, this is fun. Let's keep doing this. Let's match that energy. Now you're starting to see the pathways clear up for you. They're starting to make more sense. You're starting to see the direct area that you need to forge ahead. Like turn that spotlight on, and now you can see with a lot more distinction of how things actually do come to fruition. It isn't the way that some will see it. They'll see that you went from somewhere over here in this unknown area to in the center. And you know that's not how that happened. You know you've been on this mission and you've been working and you've been pushing and you've been building skills for years. You've had this dream. You've never let go of this dream. You had all these other things that needed to be prioritized in your life. And Spirit was providing you with all of the opportunities that you needed to build and build and build until you got up to where you needed to be. The opportunities that Spirit provided you are the opportunities that opened up the current situation and the current opportunities that you're looking at. And there's even more to come. All we need to do is keep approaching life with the right attitude, with the right mentality of, I know what I'm capable of. I know what I want. I can see it. I will put the work in. Against all odds, I'm going to make this happen because I believe in it, because I know it feels right to me, and I trust that. And Spirit backs you up on this. Spirit makes sure to open up those pathways for you. Spirit puts those people in your path to show you the way, to offer the skills that you need, to give you the resources that you need. You don't need to know how it happens, and you don't necessarily need to know what the order of things are. You have this grand vision, and Spirit sees that, and Spirit is providing you with all of the magic through your actions, through you trusting yourself, through your intuition. You're making the choices and decisions. Now, some of those decisions have been tough. You have made sacrifices you didn't even recognize at the time. You made some that you just knew you had to make. They were very difficult to let go of. But in doing so, even though you were dealing with a lot of heartbreak and grief at these sacrifices at times, you also knew that it was for the greater good. It just felt right. And Spirit felt that as well. And so it was sending you even farther on that way. Keep working that magic. Keep trusting that intuition within the self. Two cards here today. We've got courage and peace. And there is an element of strength here in this courage that for some may look a little bit conflicting to this idea of peace. But I'd like to consider the idea that some of our greatest strength lies in pulling our energy back and realizing that love and compassion and understanding, forgiveness, walking away is sometimes the acts that require the greatest amount of courage and strength, and yet lead you to a place where you feel more content and more fulfilled and more comfortable and blissful in your own mind and heart than any amount of battling and fighting and warring for what it is that you know is right will ever do. Not all battles are worth fighting, some are more strategic. You've come to recognize that there are very few battles that require actual aggression or force to be fought. More than anything, the battle is within your own mind. And within your own mind, trying to find a sense of stability and comfort and be able to release the things that don't serve you, being able to look upon the actions of others, even if they were meant to be offensive, as with some understanding, with some love and compassion of maybe they don't intend that, maybe they don't realize what that was doing, and even forgiveness, recognizing that some people are going to make bad choices that are not becoming to them. It's not something that you personally have to embody. You don't have to carry that with you. You don't have to do anything in retaliation to make that even and balanced. The universe will see to that. In fact, you've started to recognize that the more that you step away from conflict and you step away from these difficulties, the more strong you feel. And with that strength, there's a confidence, there's a courage that is built on the I am unstoppable, I am unbreakable, I am unmovable. And with this, you can't mess with this. This feels good. This is right. And I know what I'm supposed to be doing. I know what feels right. You have to face the responses and the actions of other people at times because they go, well, why aren't you addressing this? Why don't you speak on this? Why don't you handle this? You say, because it's not what feels right to me. And I have to stand up for what feels right for me. I have to know that my energy is not to be out there fighting battles that aren't my battles. Whatever caused this situation didn't have anything to do with me. It's all within them. So I'm choosing to pull my energy back. I'm choosing to focus it on those who choose me, who choose the kind of pathway that I'm on, that choose the path of love, that choose the path of compassion, that choose the path of peace, that choose contentment, that choose sitting back and allowing things to reveal themselves for what they truly are. What you'll often find is when we pull our energy away from these conflicts, we realize that there was no conflict that existed between more than one party. It was just one party with that conflict. And it would only have been your adding aggression and energy to that that would have caused it to blow up in a different way. You took the harder road, which was to not add to it, to not give it your energy and attention, to not welcome chaos into your life. There is a much more courageous aspect to choosing yourself first, at the cost of what others may think of you, at the cost of what they consider your reputation to be. You decided that you were going to choose yourself, and there's going to be opinions about that. And you decided that didn't matter. And that required more strength than anything else you'd ever done. Because it's hard for us to let go of, especially people that we respect. But when we do that, they start to see a different side of us. They start to see who we truly are. And a lot of times you'll find that your choice in stepping back and allowing things to play out in the way that they do, choosing your peace above all, is so admirable that others will start to emulate that, because they will see that and they will go, that's a soldier. That's someone who knows they're right. That's someone who is strong enough to stand their ground, because they pulled their energy out of that mess. They decided that was not worthy of their energy. That's bold. That's bold. That's bold in a world where everyone's got to be heard and seen and put their 2 cents in and throw their blow in the ring. Nah, nah, not me. Not today. Pulling back. You're strong. Thank you for joining me today for these messages. Thank you for joining me on your journey.